What's going on? And guess I'm going to keep the yarn because I'm just waking up on this Saturday. I know I did my live cast last Saturday and I have gone on a hiatus. Straight ghost mode. But I've been busy at work, busy at boxing, busy at the gym, busy getting in shape. This is what I mean by my channel. I don't know how I'm ever going to get 15, 20, 30,000 when I can't put out these videos as much as other people. Life is busy, especially if I'm trying to do these pro fights. Like, it's too busy. I'm over here on a Saturday exhausted. But let's get into boxing. So like always, what's going on YouTube? What's going on my boxing fans? What's going on my likers, my dislikers, and like always, my two people that give me 2 thumbs downs. I love y'all the most. Yes, I do. Keep doing the job that you're doing. Watch my videos, giving me the 2 thumbs down. Anyways, in the boxing news, how did I see Kovalev versus my boy, This Ain't Your Yard boy? So this was my takeaways from this fight. I know I said Anthony Yarde would win, and I believe he could have won if he had a better staffing crew around him. The issue with this is what I always have said, and I say this in real life, I say this on the internet. A fighter can only be so good. You can have all the tools in the world, but without a good trainer coach, you will only get so far on your raw ability and talents. By that being said, I said before the fight, all Yarde had to do was go to Kovalev's body. He started that in the 7th round and hurt Kovalev. He went to it in the 8th round and almost knocked out Kovalev. After the 8th round, he quit going to the body. Before the 7th round, he never went to the body. Makes no sense. A seasoned veteran, a real coach, a real trainer would have told him, keep your guard high, go in there and work this motherfucker's body. Any boxer who fights Kovalev, especially if he fights Canelo, Canelo will knock Kovalev out within the first 6 rounds because Canelo is too smart not to. Canelo is too durable not to. Canelo's going to walk right through Kovalev's punches, and he's going to get in the pocket with him, and he's going to do that Mexican style like he likes to say, except he ain't going to be beating on his face. He's going to be beating on his fucking body from round 1 to round he KOs him. Kovalev is not that good. These people do not target his weakness like Andre Ward did in the 2nd fight. At this point, Kovalev ain't got nothing left in the tank. He'll cash out with Canelo. Canelo will beat him, and Canelo will get all this fucking accolades for doing it, when in my opinion, Kovalev is not that hard of a fighter to beat. As far as Anthony Yarde goes, get rid of your fucking trainer and coach. He is funny to listen to. He is funny to watch, but so is having a house cat. I love watching a house cat run around the house, play with a little ball. Funny when they knock shit over when you tell them not to. Funny, but useless as a coach. See, you got to do what's right for you. There's a thin line between loyalty and holding yourself back. See, you want to be loyal to people who are loyal to you, but if they were truly loyal to you and truly cared about your best interest, they would tell you, I cannot take you any further. You need somebody better. If they really cared about you, but they don't, they want to line their pockets, and I would respect it. And in that case, if you want to keep them on the team, keep them on the team. Just have him as an assistant coach. Have him help you with what you feel he's good with. But as far as tactics and strategies and bringing in sparring partners to mimic what you're about to fight, to exploit what you're about to fight, you need to get a better staff, a better head guy. Outside of that, Yarde impressed me because he took an ass whooping. He took a fucking ass whooping and kept fighting until he couldn't fight no more. And it wasn't really a devastating punch that put him out. It was more exhaustion because he kind of blew his load in the 8th round, which has nothing to do with his physique. Anybody, fat, skinny, doesn't matter how you build, could have blown their load if they would have went at all out. That's a no-no. You never go all out, especially deep into the rounds. If it would have been the 1st and 2nd round, maybe. But you never throw everything you have left. The point of this is, and the proof of this is, he almost knocked himself down when he threw a wild right hook and went over the ropes because he missed Kovalev. That showed you that he depleted his gas tank, which isn't good. Some fighters will get a second win, like Anthony Joshua versus shit. But I died on my own spit. Y'all would love that. Let me clear my throat real fast with this moment of brief silence brought to you by Protein Shake. But as I was saying, he may have caught a second win like Anthony Joshua did against Klitschko, Dr. Steelhammer, but he didn't. And it's rare that a lot of fighters who go completely depleted, where they're punching themselves over and falling down, come back from that, especially late. So that wasn't a mistake made by the coaching. That was a mistake made by the fighter himself due to inexperience. But it's cool. It's all a learning experience. But with the ass whooping that he took and the heart that he showed and the grit to get in there and still take punches, still try to find success, and knowing he had nothing left, I applaud that. I've seen other videos where they said he should have had his corner throwing the towel, and I disagree with that. See, the difference is, the only time I would agree with that is if you have a little pillow puncher, a powder puff, and it's a speed guy like a Paulie Malignaggi who wins on points and wins on tagging somebody but does zero damage. When you got a guy like Anthony Yard who has knockout power, that means he can knock you out, which means no matter how far behind he is, if he gets that lucky punch and catches somebody, he can knock him out. So when you have a knockout artist, you don't ever throw in that towel. Because at any point in time, he can knock out that other opponent. The other opponent gets sloppy no matter how far ahead they are. So I disagree with that mindset that the towel should have been thrown in. I don't think it should have. Kovalev really wasn't landing anything devastating. Now, Kovalev's got heavy hands, but it was more jabs than anything that were hitting him, and he was just getting peppered. I didn't see any risk of him being hurt. What I saw was a man who was so gassed that a jab put him away, which, unless you're Muhammad Ali, a jab shouldn't be finishing people. But it is what it is. Outside of that, back to my boy Floyd Mayweather. What I find funny is, and that's why I got his picture up. I don't consider anybody an icon, though, just on the side note. But how can this man not be the front runner for Fighter of the Decade? I already did a video on this. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He is Fighter of the Decade. I just saw a really good channel who I like, Remy's Corner. Remy's Corner just did a video between Marquez and Pacquiao. And if you don't know who he is, go look him up. His voice makes his channel the best, in my opinion. He sounds like a Mickey. Like an old school boxing trainer's voice, like what you would think somebody narrating something boxing would sound like. That's why I like his channel, and he's very knowledgeable. But he agreed with me at the end of the day that he saw that Marquez got the better of Pacquiao. Now, I disagree with his scorecards. I believe he had it one draw for Pacquiao, one loss, one win. And I think he had 2 wins for Marquez in his scorebook, if I remember correctly. But me, I had it 3-1 Marquez beat Pacquiao. And I'm only bringing up Marquez because Marquez was considered a great fighter. And Pacquiao is considered one of the greatest fighters, right? And in my opinion, Marquez beat him in their trilogy. Like the first fight, there's no way I had Pacquiao winning. Outside of Pacquiao doing them 3 knockdowns at the start of the fight, to me, he didn't do too much after that. The second fight, Marquez by far dominated that enough to win. The first fight could have been up in the air because you did have the 3 knockdowns, but in my opinion, I couldn't see it a draw because Marquez just dominated too much after that, even though he started in a big hole. Second fight, no way on this earth you could give it a draw or to Pacquiao. Third fight, no way on this earth could you give it to Marquez. Marquez got dominated in that third fight. But the fourth fight, where Manny Pacquiao went nighty-night, It is what it is. So in my opinion, Marquez won. And I'm only bringing this up because look at how easily Floyd Mayweather beat Marquez. Now, I could be wrong. So go ahead, all you Marquez fans. Tell me I'm wrong in my chat. But I remember reading an article that said Marquez only landed 9 punches on Mayweather. Now, that might not be true. That might have been an over-exaggeration. But if it was, it couldn't have been by much. Because he barely touched Mayweather, and Mayweather just schooled him. He made it look like a father playing with his child. And the same thing goes for Pacquiao, Mayweather. The only people who believe Pacquiao won are these people on YouTube talking about, if you watch it in slow motion, oh, just press slow-mo. There's people that make slow-mo videos. I don't care if you play it in slow motion, fast forward, normal speed. If you put it through a portal, send it to the past, it comes back through the same portal, and now you're watching the fight again. There's no way Pacquiao beat Mayweather. Mayweather touched him too much. And to all those who say Mayweather only ran from Pacquiao, you need to rewatch the fight or you never watched it at all. Because what I saw several times in the fight, Mayweather would stand still like this, looking just like he does with his little Sparta shield. He has an invisible Sparta shield because he's always like this. He'll walk forward, looking like a damn Spartan soldier with a spear ready to throw and a fucking shield to bash you with. I saw him standing in the center of the ring several times in that fight, looking at Pacquiao, daring Pacquiao to come forward, and Pacquiao several times through the fight would not come forward because every time he did, he would get a straight right landed to him. And then what's even better about it is when Mayweather would get against the ropes, okay, Pacquiao would come charging in like a bull, and he'd either get hit by a check right, and Mayweather would spin out off the right hook, or a check left hook, boom, and Mayweather would spin off, and Pacquiao would still be against the fucking ropes, like a trash sparring partner. And I don't mean to talk badly about Pacquiao because I believe he's had an amazing career. I believe there may never be somebody else who wins 8 divisions like Pacquiao, and especially the competition that Pacquiao fought, which is my biggest disagreement with Mayweather. I believe Mayweather, on the other hand, did not go for the best when the best were the best. I believe, like many champions that move up in weight, he targeted the weaker champions of divisions, got belts, and then moved up. He fought champions when they were no longer at their pinnacle. They were already showing signs of coming down, or like a Canelo, they were on their way still up and they never really peaked when he fought them. That is my biggest problem with Mayweather. Mayweather, in my opinion, is defensively one of the best that ever did it, but I will never be able to call him the best because he never fought the best when the best were the best. Mayweather, in my book, will go down as great, but I can never say he's the greatest because he never chose to fight the fights that would make him the greatest, even though I believe he would have won. If that makes sense to you, then you will know my mindset against Mayweather. Mayweather will always be great again, but I will never consider him the greatest because, again, he never fought the best when the best were the best, and those are the fights that make you become great. As far as him fighting Pacquiao, I don't hold that against him. Pacquiao didn't want to fucking take a blood test, even though he had did it in the past. He didn't want, scared of needles, even though he's taken it in the past and he has tattoos. How the fuck are you scared of needles if you got tattoos? Then, as far as Pacquiao goes, the me shoulder bullshit that got healed by the salt water in the ocean. Come on. Really? Really? Salt water in the ocean repaired a torn rotator cuff or whatever was wrong with his shoulder. Salt water in the ocean. I don't buy into it. The bottom line is this: Pacquiao knew he was beat. He knew he was beat bad. He talked a big game like Keith Thurman talked a big game against him, and he lost like Keith Thurman lost to him. And the best thing he could do was claim injuries. He wasn't man enough to say Mayweather is a better fighter. And Mayweather was. Outside of that, we got AJ versus Ruiz 2 coming up. 2. We got AJ, is he or isn't he on juice versus I like to rub my belly and eat Snickers. Who do I think is going to win? I think AJ is going to win it. I don't think Ruiz put any type of fear into AJ. AJ didn't know what to do whenever he was getting hit by barrages, but none of those punches hurt him. He was up immediately after every knockdown. To me, AJ looked very slow, sluggish, and tired. The day before the fight, I said he was breathing mighty heavy on them pads. And the thing is, this is what people don't understand. Although AJ's decline started by a punch, when you have no energy, punches hurt worse. I've never heard anybody bring that up, but it is a fact. When you're tired, punches are more devastating. Even light punches hurt. Punches that would never hurt you start to hurt. The more and more tired you become, the more and more they start to hurt, and the less durable your body becomes. It's crazy. You have no lungs, you can't take punches, you can't last through the fight. Here's what it is. As far as AJ goes, I think AJ needs to keep doing what he's doing. I've seen some pictures where he was looking thinner. I can't really tell by the pictures if he's thinner or not. The biggest mistake he would ever make is to lose weight, especially when he's fighting a guy who outweighs him by so much in such a compact body, I guess you could say. Because, I mean, 268, Ruiz says he's what, 6'1", 6'2", but he looks about 6 foot. Either way, 268, that's a lot of weight in a little fat body that can throw hands that fast. But we'll see what happens. I think AJ will be smart enough to jab him, keep him away, fight on the outside, and then when it comes time to finish him, not get as wild. Leave that wild shit to Deontay Wilder. Or to Deontay Wilder. I love what Deontay Wilder is saying. How true it is, I do not know. He said that he wants Tyson Fury to step to the side because he feels Tyson Fury is scared of him and let him fight the winner of Ruiz and AJ. Now, I already think Deontay Wilder in his mind after watching AJ fall believes he can beat AJ. He believes if he touches AJ now, he knows in his mind that he'll knock him out. That's what he's counting on. Secondly, Andy Ruiz wins. I don't know with them being in-house how close they are, but I'm pretty damn sure Deontay Wilder is looking at Andy Ruiz like a fat snack. He looked like a little marshmallow rolling around in the ring. And the reason why I say that is when you got a guy like Deontay Wilder who is long, fighting somebody so short, that short guy's got to get close. As that short guy's coming in, it sets him up to be hit. That's what Wilder is looking at. And Wilder is incredibly fast. Like, he is fast. I don't care what anybody says. You cannot take away this man's ring speed. He's quick coming across with that little hop skip that I call that he does. He's quick when he throws his hands. Although they're sloppy, he's fast. And like I said, he can get from one end of the ring to the other end of the ring like Usain Bolt. And to me, that's what throws a lot of fighters off. It's not the wildness of his punches. It's not the accuracy of his punches. It's the gap closing. They're not prepared for how quick he can close the gap because they're expecting the fighter to come at a normal speed, so they're timing them coming in, but they can't time Wilder because by the time Wilder is here, he's already in your face landing a punch on you due to his foot speed. And he's very good. This is where I will give Wilder credit. Technically, he is not the best. I won't even say not the best. He's just not a good boxer technically at throwing punches and setting up punches. But what he is amazing at is hip rotation. Even though I think he blew up to 223, hopefully he'll get a little bit bigger. But with Deontay Wilder, unlike an AJ Tank style fighter, I don't want Wilder to get too big too fast. I have nothing against Wilder. I know I've been hard on Wilder, but it's the same reason why I was hard on Mayweather. I want to see them fight harder competition to find out how great they really are. Who knows? Wilder's crappy style could be the best ever. I made a video about it. If Wilder beats these top fighters like Tyson Fury, AJ, fights a Joseph Parker, a Dillian White, Chisora is looking amazing right now underneath fucking David Haye. If he can beat your top fighters, a Pulev, then I will give him all the credit in the world. It doesn't matter how you win if you win. It doesn't matter how bad your technique is if your power is the thing that balances the scale. The same thing I've said about like MMA in wrestling. Technique is good. If your technique is here, but the person you're wrestling's strength is here, the strength is going to dominate you every time. That's the difference in a man wrestling a child. You can have a fucking, or in boxing, you can have a silver gloves kid champion fight a grown man going to beat the shit out the little kid. Why? Because of strength. And I don't know what they call it in wrestling for little kids, but you can get a champion little kid, a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 13-year-old, wrestle a grown man with some man weight behind him. That's not a little pussy that get beat up by a girl. And you're going to see that man wrap up that little kid. Why? Power, strength. If the strength is greater than the technique, it can beat the technique. And if that is Deontay Wilder's case, then hey, more power to him. But like I said, back to the point at hand. I like the fact that he is starting to step up to the plate. He's starting to have more confidence in his abilities. And I really think he believes that Ruiz is going to win. AJ will lose. And if AJ does win, I'm curious to see if he keeps that same energy to fight AJ. Because I believe, truthfully, right now, win or lose, whoever he fights, I think he thinks he can beat AJ because he watched AJ lose. And he knows AJ doesn't have the heart to continue to... Well, I won't say heart. AJ has a lot of heart. He knows AJ doesn't have the grit to take the punishment. He's going to try to take a knee. He's going to try to spit out his mouthpiece, take some extra time. He's not going to show the determination to continue, whereas I give Wilder all the credit in the world. Wilder will take a beating and keep going. Ortiz, he looked out of it, but he did what he had to do, put his guard up high, took the punches, weathered the storm. Ortiz blew his load, and Wilder came back out to win. Can he win in the second one? I don't know. Every month that goes by, every day that goes by, every hour hand that comes around at 12, every minute that ticks and every second that winds, Ortiz is getting worse and worse and worse and worse due to his old age. Ortiz is like 93 years old. In fact, the old man that Conor McGregor punched in the bar, that might have been Ortiz. I don't know. I just heard old man got punched and then go down. I think it was Ortiz because Ortiz is that fucking old. But outside of that, we've got today Lomachenko versus Luke Campbell. Who will win? I think Lomachenko is going to win. He's just got to be smart. I'm going to end this video here because we already pushed it into the 25-30 minute territory. But I really think that Lomachenko will win this one. I don't think Luke Campbell is good enough. But I do see signs of Lomachenko not being able to take the punches as he's starting to go up in weight. But he chose to fight a guy who was naturally lighter than him. Although Luke Campbell is taller and can carry more weight, he fights smaller than Lomachenko. So I think all the advantages go to Lomachenko in this. And with that, I'm going to wrap this up. Once again, let me point this way, back to Mayweather. That, to me, is the fighter of the decade. Fuck. It can be argued. I won't get into that. We'll say that for another video. That way I'm not speaking for another 30 minutes. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. This has been my updates to cover me throughout the week. And I will try to get more videos out, although it is hard with everything I am doing, trying to prep for this fight. And hopefully y'all can see the boy starting to get chiseled back up. He's gaining weight. Oh, he's starting to get, I ain't even trying to gain weight. I'm already back in my 190s, coming up and up and up, closer to 200. And I'm not even trying. I'm only eating 3 small meals a day. I'm trying to lose weight. But I said, nah, get lean. Let's knock people out. But anyways, I digress. I'll talk to y'all later. Thank y'all for watching like always. And if you really like it, and I hate saying this, but I'm going to say it, please sub or at least give me a thumbs up, as it does help my channel grow. Thank y'all again.